Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Imagine standing at a smooth, well-trodden road lined with comfort and material success, but it's laced with something toxic, riba. To your right is a steep, rocky path full of uncertainty, struggle, and sacrifice, but it's pure, halal, blessed. Most people wouldn't think twice, but what if that rocky road led to a miracle? I chose that path, not once, not twice, but 3 times by the grace of Allah. And each time I walked away from interest and walked into something far greater than I could have ever imagined. And in this video, I'll be telling you 3 incredible stories from my life. Riba, or interest, is one of the most destructive sins in Islam. The Prophet ﷺ said, "May Allah curse the one who consumes riba, the one who pays it, the 2 witnesses, and who records it." This video isn't about fatwas or fiqh. It's about what happens when a young Muslim says no to riba and says yes to trusting Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the majestic Quran,
وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَل لَّهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَالِغُ أَمْرِهِ قَدْ جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدْرًا. So here are 3 stories from my life that prove this ayah to be true again and again and again. It was 2008 and I was just 17 years old, filled with ambition, applying to some of the best universities in the UK. But one thing haunted me, the student loan. Everyone around me said, just take it. Everyone does. You'll never be able to go university otherwise. But deep down, I couldn't silence the voice inside. I don't want to be cursed by Allah. So I made a bold decision. I delayed my entry. So I applied for deferred entry and I took a gap year to do some work and earn some money. I was ready to do any job, pizza delivery, stocking shelves at a supermarket, anything to save up and avoid having to take those loans. And then came a miracle. Out of nowhere, I landed a placement with Deloitte, one of the top firms in the world. At 17, I was walking into a corporate office, earning a salary higher than my dad. And it didn't stop there. They invited me to return every summer during university, which was very unusual. So I ended up working there not just during my gap year, but I worked there full-time for 12 months and then part-time for another 12 months during university, which was also extremely unusual. And that was more than enough to help me get through 3 years of university with no loans. When you sacrifice for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He replaces it with something better beyond your wildest expectations. So when I graduated from LSE in 2015, I didn't apply for a job. I launched my first business and started on the road of entrepreneurship. And I have never looked back since, alhamdulillah. In 2017, I joined an American health and nutrition brand that was rapidly expanding in the UK. I was looking to learn this important skill of sales, as all entrepreneurs emphasize it. So I joined a 100% sales commission basis role because I wanted to master this art of sales. Now, at the time, my manager, a super talented Muslim woman who started as a customer, she got promoted to open a new branch, her own very branch. So she asked me to help her build this new branch from the ground up. So we started with a completely empty office. And within 7 months, we built a buzzing operation. 12 members of staff, over 30,000 in monthly revenue, and a powerful vision. Then came the second test. The company decided to offer financing to customers who couldn't afford the products. So allow them to pay in installments, which obviously involved some interest. And they wanted me to process the paperwork. It would have been easy to stay. Pretend it's not a big deal. But my heart couldn't accept it. So I left. I walked away from a thriving business, a steady income, and everything that I had built. I lost my main income overnight. And just days later, not weeks, not months, a friend called me with a business idea. We partnered. And that venture then became my first ever six-figure business. That decision to walk away from riba became the doorway to something greater. When I look back at that experience, I realized that it gave me confidence, it gave me clarity, and it gave me a deeper belief that rizq comes from Allah alone. I learned so much from that business, this new venture that we started, and it was the first time in my life where I saw good money. It was a turning point. This gave me a huge confidence boost, and that helped me work on bigger ideas and even bigger ventures. A few years later, the dream of owning a home came knocking. Like many Muslims, I wanted to buy my home the halal way, in cash, no mortgages, no compromise. But I knew it would take time, maybe 5, maybe 10 years to get to a point where I have that kind of cash coming from my businesses. So I asked myself a question. What if I could cover my rent with passive income? What if I could build something that pays for my living while I focus on the bigger vision? And that question led me down a deep rabbit hole of halal passive income strategies. After months of learning, months of testing and speaking to people and attending events and trainings and webinars, I launched a property management business based on the rent-to-rent model. My goal was simple: generate £2,000 a month with the least possible amount of time input. Alhamdulillah, today, that very business turns over £800,000 every single month. Avoiding riba isn't easy. It tests your patience. It costs you comfort. But then a door opens, a blessing descends, a provision comes from the most unexpected place, and your heart whispers, "This is from Allah." To the young Muslim unsure whether or not to take loans, to the newlywed couple thinking about a mortgage, to the entrepreneur tempted by easy funding, I say to you, hold strong, walk the harder path, trust Him even when it hurts, because your Lord is Al-Wahhab, the giver of gifts, and He will never let you lose for His sake. Let my story be a light of hope in your darkness. Whatever you give up for the sake of Allah, He will replace it with something far, far better in this life and the next. Put your trust in Him. Step forward in faith and just watch what happens. Wallahu khayrul raziqeen. Until the next video, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.